Welcome back. One of the biggest high school football games in our region is just days away. We're talking about, obviously, the Musket Bowl. Daniel Boone and David Crockett High School athletic directors, Danny Good and Josh Kite, are here with me to tell us a bit more about how teams are preparing for this year's rivalry matchup. Thank you both for joining me here on First at 4. We'll begin with you, Josh, since it's in your home neck of the woods. I mean, how is this game? Let me ask you this: is this game any different than any other game this season? Because the coach will say it's just the next game on the schedule.
Well, that's a really good question, the million-dollar question. I've been asked by a lot of people, or why are we playing this game so early in the season? And a lot of times that's set by the the TSSAA and how they mandate that. But again, it's one of those games you mark on the calendar every year. And in week 3 you're in a must-win situation. Both teams are coming off losses, so again, this is a big game for us. It's under a new stadium, brand new stadium, state of the art. It's going to be always an electric atmosphere, and we're just looking forward to hosting Boone. Again, the week is a great week. The spirit, school spirit, the community, everything comes together involved in this game. And then obviously at 7 o'clock, we turn the page for the football game. So, like I said, just going to be a great atmosphere, always is, and a lot of history. Obviously, we're in the 54th annual Musket Bowl. So, I joked around and said, David Crockett and Daniel Boone met in 1971 when it was the birth of the Musket Bowl. So,
I like that. I like that. Daniel, let me ask you. I mean, obviously, you're the visiting team. You won the last 3. Talk about the Musket, okay? I mean, it's been around for a good while now.
Yeah, I think Chip Kessler introduced it in 1982. So it's been around ever since then, and I think up till 78. I think 78 was the first year it went to the Dome, and it was played there until 2004. And I believe at 2004 it went back outside, back on both campuses. So I think that's been a positive. We were thankful to get to play in the Dome, but I think being in Jonesboro or being in Gray, either one on that Friday night, atmosphere is just a little different on that night than it is any other night of the fall.
Now, either one of you guys can answer this, because I was asked this the other day. Why is it not on the ETSU campus anymore?
Well, like Danny had stated, I think being on your home site and getting that opportunity to host each year, it just means a little more to the kids in the community having it in on their home site. And while my first introduction to the Musket Bowl was I was in college at ETSU. And from a college student looking in, I thought it did have a college type atmosphere for the game. It was amazing just seeing how many fans show up for a high school football game. And then now become an athletic director, seeing the other side of things. I think playing at your home site and having that, we would say, home cooking or that advantage. I think it's fun for the community, and again, it's an electric atmosphere. You get to, as an athletic director, we get to do a lot of things and build up the game.
We actually, I think when the new stadium was built on ETSU's campus, the opportunity was given to us to take it back up there, but Coach Jenkins polled his kids, and at the time, they wanted to stay. Yeah. They wanted to stay at home, or they wanted to go to Jonesboro. So I think it just makes it a little bit different being at that, being on your home turf, so to speak.
We know how the players feel. What about the rest of the student body? Do they care? Oh, yeah. Is the pride for them as well for this game?
Well, like I said, we start Monday with Spirit Week. Obviously, Labor Day kind of cut that short a little bit. But Tuesday, the kids, the student section leaders are getting involved to set their Spirit Week up and just anticipating for that pep rally coming up and just taking a lot of pride in your school and your community. Obviously, this is a big game. You want to win. I mean, it's funny because you got cousins versus cousins. You got Boone. You got Boone. Teachers that are now a part of Crockett, vice versa. Crockett teachers part of Boone. So obviously we love the game, but we want everybody, to get out safe, injury-free, have a good, clean game, fellowship, have a lot of fun, and that's winning. But it's going to be an electric atmosphere.
You guys play the song. Daniel Boone, he was a man. David Crockett. You play it, you blast it through practice all week long. How did somebody not just go insane? I mean, by the end of the week, because you've heard their fight song all week long.
Yeah, I had to run down. Danny and I have the only key to the press box right now. So at Monday morning, I'm down there unlocking the press box, and we're playing that song repeatedly. I come back, the song's playing, and I know it's going on at But that's tradition.
Yeah.
And that's what you love about this game. It's tradition. And, the younger kids that are coming up, your middle school class and, your grade school kids, your peewee, they see that and they're going to be a part of that one day. So as long as you can keep that tradition going. And like I said, I don't know of any rivalry that's better than name. You think of Michigan, Ohio State, UT, Vanderbilt. And then for a high school game, you got David Crockett versus Daniel Boone.
Well,
it just adds a lot of flavor.
Nobody does it better than you guys, putting on a great game along with the players on the field and obviously the fans in the stand. The Musket Bowl is happening this Friday at 7 o'clock on ABC Tri-Cities. If you can't make it out, don't worry. We've got you covered. We'll have a live broadcast and stream of the matchup between Daniel Boone and David Crockett. Plus, throughout our evening newscast, we will have coverage setting the scene for what should be another classic. We're going to send things back over to the desk. Ainsley?